Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual, guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. So, what has happened again? Well, I've told you guys that it's a game, and all you have to do is learn the game. What JP Morgan did is they raised our price target today at NEO, and it increased delivery forecast for 2026 next year and 2027. The bank originally downgraded the shares of NEO in February, and at that time they were buying shares, so they were downgrading it. And I told you guys that this is the way the game is played. What they did was they pumped NEO up to 60 something dollars a share, Wall Street, along with JP Morgan. They sold it in the 60s and then they drug it back down while shorting it. They're shorting it and drag it back down where the analysts saying, oh, this company's cash burning, it'll go bankrupt. And they short it back down. They made money on the way down. And now, whilst buying it in the first quarter, and shorting it and telling people don't buy, here's what they did again. They bought in and now they are upgrading it again. And I've also said that JP Morgan is the most powerful voice. They're the biggest manipulators on the stock market. So it's only when they are ready to let us go, we're going to start flying. And now they're starting to do it. So it's just a matter of time. The Shanghai in February, when Nikkei cut NEO in February, they cut NEO to neutral from overweight, and then they started buying and reduced the target from 470 from $7 at that time, and they kept buying. JP Morgan later trimmed the target again to 410 before Thursday's lift. They now lifted us to 480, and they're gonna keep lifting us. Give it time. That's why I tell people now is the time to keep buying. In the February note obtained by Price Target, the analyst said the firm expected NEO to deliver 334,000 vehicles this year. The figures would represent a 50% from 2024. And I've said this also, people keep saying, well, NEO isn't blah, blah, blah. But Tesla sales are declining year over year, whilst NEO sales are rising year over year. So they said this would represent a 50% from 2024. However, NEO delivered 135,167 vehicles in the first 7 months of 2025, up 25.2% year over year, getting ready to double that again with the L90, as long as they fix the bottleneck, which I believe they would. Despite the increase, the figures still trail the management target of doubling deliveries to 440,000 units in 2025. But this is why they say with global expansion and with the L90, they expect to do that. The company has faced production ramp-up issues. We all know that with the L90. And they are speedily trying to correct that right now while preparing for the launch of the ES8, the monster that's coming late next month. And I believe it's on the 21st. News just came out on that. And the 5-seat L80 SUV in the fourth quarter. So that's why they're saying next year will be even more massive compared to this year. JP Morgan case for improvement in the second half leans on product cadence of Onvo's new SUV and global expansion. NEO's management said in the previous earning call that it aims for 3 models, the L60, which has been ramping up, the L80 and the L90 to reach 25,000 monthly deliveries in the final quarter of this year. So that means they'll start delivering L80 in this year as well, which would amount to 75,000 Onvo vehicles just for that quarter. Adding the same target for the NEO brand with the ES8 coming, plus Firefly vehicles, which have no public sales target, but we know they're outselling that segment already in China, would take total deliveries to over 300,000 units for that period. The brand large L90 SUV was launched on July 31st and began deliveries on August 1st across more than 40 cities. The L80, which is that huge, which is basically a smaller L90, The 5-seat version of the L90 is slated to launch in the fourth quarter, according to the founder, CEO, and William Li. The L80 is a 5-seat space champion, so it's probably gonna be early in the fourth quarter. Based on a native electric architecture set to officially launch in the fourth quarter. So it's coming with a lot of in-house technology of 2025. An Onvo product headset on Weibo last June. The second quarter portfolio update showed this week that JP Morgan increased its stake in NIO during the second quarter while they were telling you don't buy, buying more than 4.4 million shares between April and June, taking its holding to the highest level since the fourth quarter of 2022. Shares of Chinese electric vehicle maker fell on Tuesday to 447, erasing gains from the previous 4 sessions, but still up year over year. In a research note, Morgan Stanley linked the decline to production concerns over Onvo's new L90 model and fears of a potential capital raise. Analyst Tim Sau cited concerns over L90 production ramp-up and delivery as the primary driver, adding that the brokered check suggested the worry may be overdone. The worry, he's saying, is nothing to worry about. But of course, you know, the sheep will always panic and sell their shares, giving you an opportunity to buy. So I hope you guys found this video yet again to be informational, inspirational, and motivational. If so, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we are waking up the middle class for the first time to get a major piece of the pie from the ground level up as to how the games are played on Wall Street. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.